It is the 1st of August, the first of the month. That means the monthly candle has just closed. So as always, on the first of the month, what we do on this channel, we go and look at the monthly charts and make a prediction of where the next 30 days is possible to go and what lies ahead potentially for the next weeks and months ahead. What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, click the notification bell so you do get future updates whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to get an email alert every single time I upload a video, get on my email list. It's completely free. Click on the first link in the description down below. Enter your name and email there. You'll get on my email list as well as get my free cryptocurrency masterclass. And then every time I upload a new video or there's an important update, I will just send you an email so you can stay alert of what is happening in the crypto space. Alright, so July ended up being a really interesting month. It ended up being a very nice green month. We had a huge pump from $29,000 to over $40,000 in Bitcoin. And that's an exciting move. Okay, so let's look at the monthly returns first of all. That's the best way to start things out. So July was a positive of plus 18%. That is really nice to see, and it is pretty much on par what has happened historically. You can see 24%, 20%, 17%, 8%, 9%, and there were only three small red negative months in the history since 2013 for July. So that is good to see that is on track. Now, you can see the month of August, in general, there was more red than green historically, but 2017 and 2013, those are the important ones that you have to take note of. Okay, so 30% and 65%. And why I say 2013 and 17 is because of the 4-year cycle. Okay, 2013 was the 4-year cycle peak. Okay, 2017 was the 4-year cycle peak. We are now in 2021, 4 years later. So the question is going to be, is this going to be another big green month like it was in 2013 and 2017? And I actually think the answer to that is going to be yes. I think August is going to be a green month. I will share with you just now, looking at the charts, why I think this is the case. And then of course, we're getting closer and closer towards Q4, which for me is going to be very interesting to see, because in April I've already said that we might see a repeat of the 2013 cycle with a local top in May, a correction, a pullback, 60-70%. I made this in a video. I'll link to it up here and in the description below. You can go and watch that if you haven't seen that yet. And then a big correction, pullback, 60-70%, multiple months of sideways, and then a huge blow of top towards the end of the year potentially. So seeing what has happened in the previous years in Q4, I've changed this to quarterly. You can see over here, Q4, 168%, 215%, 58%, 81%, 479%. And the important Q4s, once again, 2013 and 2017, huge gains, right? So the 4-year cycle, 2021, are we going to get a massive green pump, a blow of top? And I still think that is a decent possibility and maybe even probability. The question that we're going to end up seeing, if that's true or not, is whether or not this might also be an extended cycle where it extends past the 4-year cycle. Some people seem to believe in extending cycle lengths and diminishing returns, meaning that each cycle gets longer, which might be a possibility. The 2013 cycle was 12 months having to peak. The 2017 was 18 months having to peak. So we might be in a situation where every cycle, it ends up adding about 6 months to the previous cycle. If that is the case, then we might only see a cycle top by middle of 2022. But it is also still completely a possibility that this cycle has a blow off top and peak somewhere in December of this year or January of next year, based on the 4-year cycle, because November of 2013 was the cycle top. December of 2017 was a cycle top. If that 4-year cycle is still in play, we're looking at December of 2021 or January of 2022. So let's take a look at the monthly chart. Let's take a look at the previous predictions, and then let me share with you what I think is going to happen based on the previous monthly candle close of July. So you can see over here, we're almost back at $42,000. We've actually already touched $42,000, which obviously is a huge change compared to just a few weeks ago when we were at $29,000 and people were calling for potentially 20,000 or even 14,000. Okay, so the situation has changed. let's first look at the previous Bitcoin prediction that I made on the 1st of July. So this is the monthly chart right now, and pretty much exactly as predicted, we had a small kind of inside month. For the month of June, we retested the lows, actually went slightly below it. We went to 28,863 versus the last time the low was 30,104. So slightly below it, but we had a small inside month. So that played out exactly how I thought it would. Now, the question is going to be, is this scenario that I said last month also going to play out, where in the next, say, 2 to 3 months, we just continue to grind higher as the monthly candle plays out like this, and maybe be back at the 65K top by potentially the end of August, maybe the end of September. Okay, so as you can see, I gave you the two scenarios last month where I said we're either just going to grind up towards the top or potentially still have a sell-off before grinding up towards the top, and we got pretty much exactly that. You can see we went to 42K, we had that move up, we didn't get the sell-off to new lows, and right now we're at a point where we're at 42K, and this initial scenario I said last time is still in play, where we could potentially just be looking at a slow grind back up to 65K by the end of August or the end of September. So I think it is still entirely possible, based on last month's candle, that this month we can see maybe 48,000, which would be a resistance kind of level over here, and then quite potentially in September still be back at over 50,000, maybe even towards 65,000. You can see over here, or maybe in October, maybe it takes another 3 months. But this scenario could still be very, very possible over here, and that this was the mid-cycle sell-off. We continue the cycle, we continue the bull run, and we get our blow off top either at the end of the year or sometime in Q1 or Q2 of next year. But so far, this is still the scenario I am leaning towards. Now, of course, there is still a possibility for a sell-off. There is still a possibility that this gets rejected at some point and does end up going lower. But at this point, I don't think that is very likely. And the danger of a sell-off to 20K at this point, I think, is pretty unlikely, unless we get some sort of major black swan event and the whole stock market sell off and there's something crazy that happens in the world. Who knows, maybe some sort of cyber attack or the internet goes down or whatever, then maybe. But I think at this point it's pretty unlikely that we are going to get a huge sell-off once again, and I think that it's more likely that we're going to move higher in August and hopefully see about $48,000. I mean, if things go really crazy, we could get a huge pump and go to $55,000. I'm not too sure what would cause that, but I think 48,000, and then maybe, like I'm saying, September or October, be back at that $65,000 high. And once we get there, hopefully we get a continued push, a blow off top, and we go somewhere to 80 to maybe 120,000, 130,000 for the blow off top. I don't know if we're going to see 200,000 or 300,000 like some people are calling. I'm going to be conservative. If we see somewhere between 80,000 and say 130,000, I would be really, really happy with this bull run, and then maybe we get a crash, we get a bear market, and then maybe the next time we go to 300K or 500K. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, nothing is impossible, of course, but so far this is what I'm expecting. So in August, maybe $48,000. If it goes crazy, maybe 55 in August. I'm not too sure it will, but 48,000, and then hopefully a move back towards 65K by somewhere in September, October. Hopefully that is going to be the scenario that we see, and that we don't get some sort of black swan or crazy sell-off. Alright guys, Ethereum. So before we go and look at this month's prediction, what I think is going to happen, let's go and take a look at the prediction I made on the 1st of July for Ethereum. So for Ethereum, I'm still not expecting too much in the next 3 months. I think we could probably retest the lows once again. So we'll probably go back to the 1700, 1800, maybe just 2000 this time. But it looks like we want to make at least one more candle over here before heading higher. Okay, so I said it was likely we were going to get another retest of the lows. That is exactly what happened. You can see the low was 1717. So I said 1800. That is exactly what happened before moving higher. And once it hit those lows, it pulled back. You can see we're currently at $2,600. This is a bullish looking candle to me. It makes sense because in 2 or 3 days from now, we have the EIP 1559 upgrade. So I think that's being watched a lot. I think that is one of the catalysts that has really been pushing the market higher over the last couple days, the last week or two. And I think it might continue to push Ethereum higher. So this looks good. Okay, we had this big indecision month, we had a sell-off, we had another correction, but you can see if you look at the monthly closes, there have been wicks to the downside 3 times on a monthly basis. Usually these wicks mean there's very strong support, this is accumulation, and it probably won't end up going down below this from here. It is more likely that here this was a big accumulation zone, it tried to sell off, it didn't, a lot of support was shown, these wicks were being bought up. The body monthly candle closes where you can see here over the $2,000 level, and I think it's likely we're going to continue with Ethereum moving higher. So I also said in the last month that I was more bullish on Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. I still think that is the case, because especially with this upgrade, I think it's more likely that Ethereum is going to get more attention, outperform. Also what's happening with NFTs, a lot of NFTs run on Ethereum, so there's also going to be more demand with that. So we have the upgrade, we have the NFT, we have a lot of stuff that's happening for Ethereum that I think could help Ethereum outperform Bitcoin, especially over the next couple weeks, couple months, and I think this is looking good. So this month, I suspect we could see over $3,000. Maybe if you're looking at this Fibonacci sequence that I put on here, you can see that's pretty accurate. I mean, the monthly bodies closed on the 50%. The wicks were down to just about the 38.2. So if we do get a nice big pump, I mean, we might be able to see $3,400 on ETH in August. And if you look at this, if you look at the continuation, assuming that this was the top, the 100% over here, if you look at the 1.618 extension, this might actually be a target for the cycle top for this bull run, which would be around $7,000 ETH. I think that's something that, even though it sounds far away, and obviously 7,000 ETH sounds pretty crazy, it might not be as crazy as it sounds. I'm a little bit wary of people calling for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 ETH this cycle. I think eventually it could get there. I think it's probably only going to happen next cycle. But, you know, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 ETH, I think is within the realm of possibility for this bull run cycle. If we do get that continuation, if we get that blow off top, I think that's a possibility. So for me personally, this is something, a level that I'm going to be watching. If we get there sometime within the next 6 months, I'm going to start to get wary, depending obviously on the day-to-day and the weekly and the daily, how things are looking with indicators and things like that. But that might be an area of interest to watch when it gets there, for potentially cashing out or taking hedges or tethering up or anything of that sort. So basically, to sum up, I think Ethereum is going higher. I think the low is in over here. I don't think we will get below this $1,700 level again, below these lows. Maybe not ever, I'm not saying not ever, but I think in the short term, for the continuation of the bull run, we should, unless we get a black swan event, stay above the $2,000 level at this point, and I think we should move higher. I think we'll reclaim this 4,000, 4,400, and eventually, hopefully, we'll hit this target of $7,000 ETH within the next 6 to 12 months. So downside wise, I think maybe we get to a retest if we do get a bit of a pullback of this, maybe 2260, the bottom of the body of these last 2 months. Upside maybe as high as 3,400 for the month of August. While we're on the topic of ETH and ETH outperforming Bitcoin, like I said, this is the ETH BTC chart. And basically on this chart, if the price moves higher, it means ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. So we're at 0.0623. If this goes to 0.0124, then basically you can double your Bitcoin holdings. So if you were to sell Bitcoin into ETH right now at 0.062, if it goes to 0.124, then basically you could sell back to Bitcoin and double your Bitcoin holdings. This is obviously a risk, but also, if you're aware of the risks and you understand what's happening, then maybe it's something you want to consider. Again, not financial advice, make your own decisions, but look at this. So what I think could be an option here, or a possibility, you can't really see it that well in the monthly chart, but if we go to the weekly over here, it looks a bit more clear. You can see, I think we might be in a situation where this pullback and this consolidation over here in Ethereum might be similar to what we saw in the middle of 2017, right? We had a big move up, we had a pullback and a consolidation here in the middle of 2017. And then ETH took off and massively outperformed Bitcoin. You can see over here, we had a big run over here in 2021, a pullback and a consolidation in this nice triangle over here. and it is not impossible that we get the similar type of run up over here and ETH outperforms Bitcoin by 2x to 1 over the next, say, 6 months or so. I think it's completely a possibility, especially considering what I said, EIP 1559 in a few days. That could be a game changer going forward. Also, it's not just a news event, it is an actual upgrade to Ethereum. And what's happening with NFTs that are really getting a lot of attention, a lot of users, not just from crypto, but also non-crypto people who are into collectibles and that kind of thing. I think that could be really beneficial for ETH, and that might actually show what I'm showing here, that ETH could end up outperforming Bitcoin by 2 to 1, meaning that this could be an opportunity for you to increase your Bitcoin holdings by moving Bitcoin to Ethereum and then moving it back later on. Of course, there's risk involved, so please make your own decisions. I'm not telling you to do this, but I'm sharing this possibility with you. And then finally, guys, I just want to share a little quick word on alts. I'm not going to go through individual altcoins because I still do think that altcoins are largely dependent on what Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to do. In the 2017 cycle, we only really saw altcoins move like an insane blow off top towards the very end. So in 2017, altcoins in general started moving higher in about July of 2017, and then for the next 6 months they started gradually going higher, but it was only until mid-December, after Bitcoin peaked, for those next 3 or 4 weeks that altcoins went absolutely insane. So I think there's a possibility that repeats. We are now in July 2021, and I think this might be the start of where altcoins are gradually going to start moving higher until once again they only get their blow of top towards the very end of this cycle. So if we are still in the 4-year cycle and we are going to get a blow of top, say in December or January, again, these are all assumptions, but let's just work with what we have. If that were to be the case, then I do think again that altcoins will only have their crazy blow of top somewhere in December or January, maybe even February of 2022. This is the total crypto market cap. You can see it had a big spike, moved down 3 weeks. This, I think, represents accumulation over here, and I think we shouldn't get below the lows of this market cap, 1.13 trillion, but maybe not even below 1.4 trillion. And from here, we can start to move higher over the coming months to be able to hopefully get that blow of top. How high we're going to go, I have no idea. Maybe, hopefully, 4, 5, 6 trillion would be absolutely amazing to see. It's not impossible. So far, I think this chart is still looking bullish at this point, and we'll end up seeing how this is going to progress. Let's take it a month at a time. I think over the coming months, this could end up moving higher here too. So this is the crypto market cap without Bitcoin, so purely altcoins, and you can see it looks very similar. So again, 3 wicks over here, but no body closes, so this looks like accumulation over here, ready for continuation and hopefully a blow of top within the next 6 to 12 months. So far it looks good. Hopefully we don't go below the 780 billion, the monthly close over here, but we could wick down a little bit again. As long as we don't go below the very lows over here of those wicks, so below say 600 billion for just altcoin market cap, I think we're still looking good for this bull run to continue, and hopefully we're going to end up going much higher in the next 6 to 12 months. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and these predictions. Of course, it's not financial advice, but I do try and share my best insights based on my experience and what I see happening in the space. So if you enjoy this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the subscribe button below, smash the like button, give it a thumbs up so it goes out to more people, and make sure that you get on my email list if you're not on there already. It's the first link in the description down below. Enter your name and email on the page. You'll also get my free crypto masterclass, which is basically an hour-long presentation on how to make the most out of this bull run, and you will be on my email list, like I said, so I can share with you updates whenever I upload a new video, and so on and so forth. So make sure you get on that email list, subscribe, smash the like button, and I wish you an awesome day. I will see you in the next video. Peace.